What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and I was really hesitant about making this video. In fact, I wasn't even going to make this video, but I am just really growing concerned about Ray J. So if you can, please support the channel, support Ray J by dropping a like, a comment, and sharing this video on all social media platforms. But yeah, it's just become blatantly obvious that Ray J is going through it right now. I'm sure he's dealing with all types of issues and problems like all of us are, but one of the main things Ray J is dealing with is still this naughty tape that he filmed with Kim K back in the day. And this tape has come up time and time again, and it's still haunting him. And I think one of the reasons why is because this tape had such a different effect on both of these people's lives. You know, a lot of people say that this tape is what boosted the Kardashians into superstardom. And there's no denying the fact that literally, if you look at Kim K's career trajectory after that tape, she did nothing but boost up like a rocket into the sky with fortune and fame. Whereas with Ray J, his career plummeted and went downhill after he released this tape. So I think that's had a psychological effect on him, seeing how the same thing that we both came together to do just had a totally different effect on our lives, and not just their careers, but their lives, because you see the narrative for all of these years was that this tape leaked. Oh God, this tape leaked. Let's feel bad for Kim K and let's point the fingers at Ray J like he's a bad person, because the majority of people believe that Ray J vindictively, out of spite or maybe because he was hurting at the time, decided to just leak these tapes or sell these tapes to someone. But that is not the case at all. And you see, that put a bad name, or that gave Ray J a bad name. It put a bad taste in the mouth of the music industry. And people no longer wanted to work with Ray J because of it. Because let's be honest, that's a dirty and slimy move. I hate nothing more than a guy that kiss and tells. Like, if a woman decides to do something with you behind closed doors, you don't need to go out there and blast it to the world. But a lot of guys do that, and women do that too. But it's just a slime ball move. But the reality is, Ray J never did that. This was a contract. This was, if anything, Kris Jenner's idea. Yeah, it was Kris Jenner's idea, and she watched her daughter get boned on tape multiple times and even picked out the positions and the lighting and the way she wanted her daughter to look as she was getting smashed. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's the reality of the situation. So for years, like, Ray J has gotten this bad name for these tapes, while Kim K has become probably one of the most popular people on the face of this planet. But you see, I think this has really made Ray J depressed. And I don't think he's just depressed because, you know, his career went one way and Kim K's went another. I think he's depressed because of this label that has been put on him. And the fact that even his kids, when they grow up, they're going to grow up seeing stuff about Ray J leaking this tape with Kim K. And Kim K has even come out and said some really questionable things over the years. Like, she said something along the lines of not knowing if Ray J put something in her butt while she was asleep. Now, that's a charge. That could ruin someone's life. But she would say it like a nonchalant comment on her show, not realizing or not caring that that has an effect on Ray J's life. So this tape has just been, you know, a part of the conversation for years when you're talking about Ray J or Kim K. But recently, Kris Jenner went on a television show and did a lie detector test, basically saying that she had nothing to do with the tapes. But we all know that she did. And Ray J leaked the messages, the contract, everything. We all know that this was one elaborate plan by Kris Jenner to make Kim K famous. And it worked. It worked beautifully. Beautifully. But after all of these years, instead of just admitting it, they're still out there running the same narrative that is making Ray J look bad. And I think he's done with it. He stayed quiet for so many years. But there's so many relationships that were damaged. You know, business opportunities gone. And when I say relationships were damaged for Ray J, there are people that Ray J doesn't even know who like will never work with Ray J because of this. So there's opportunities that could have been there. We will never know the amount of opportunities or the amount of people who would have worked with Ray J if it wasn't for these tapes. Now, I know some of you are like, hey, we knew that this was all a big plan all along. And I agree. A lot of us knew that this whole sex tape thing was part of the marketing scheme. We knew that. But that's still not the mainstream narrative. So just because we know that doesn't mean the general public knows that. Because the mainstream narrative in the general public is still that Ray J leaked these tapes. Well, it was apparent to me, you know, a couple of weeks ago when he released all of those videos and all of the evidence, which I covered on my channel, go check out the videos. It was evident to me that he wasn't doing this for attention. A lot of people thought it was an attention grab. Maybe he needs money. But I can genuinely tell, or I could genuinely tell, that he was struggling with this issue, that he was battling with this issue, that he was hurt and depressed. I don't know what it is, but you could just sense the genuineness in people sometimes. And if you disagree, fine. But if you haven't, go check out those videos. He did Instagram Live for like an hour or two, and I have it all on my channel. You could go check it out. And to me, he came across as being really genuine. He even broke down in tears at one point, simply because he doesn't want his daughter or his son growing up thinking that their dad did this dirty move. Growing up, looking at the tabloids, and instead of seeing Ray J's accomplishments, they see Ray J tied to leaking this tape. Well, if it wasn't apparent enough to people that Ray J was depressed when he released all of the information and that Ray J was going through some things, then it should be apparent now, because the night before last, Ray J took to Instagram to post some really concerning posts. And forgive me, I may have to change some of the words around, but we're going to dive right into these posts. If it wasn't for my kids, I would jump off and perish tonight, one caption says. And he shared a picture from a balcony just showing the ground. And then he shares another picture showing his legs hanging off of this balcony. Should I just jump off and end it right now? And here's another post. Trying to figure it out. Maybe this life was an illusion. Maybe the next life was my real reality. And then another post. If it wasn't for my kids, I would jump off and perish tonight. Now, obviously, those are concerning posts. And words can't express how much I feel for Ray J in this moment. Don't get me wrong. I know it's easy to write this stuff off as celebrity problems. Ray J's got more money than us. Who cares what he's going through? But I don't have that mentality per se, especially when it comes to things like this, because I can tell this dude is genuinely hurting. Who cares how much money he has? He's literally sitting on a balcony with his legs dangling off, threatening to jump because of what he's dealing with mentally and what he's dealing with all of this other madness going on in the world. And I know he will never see it, but I reached out to Ray J and I tried to give him some words of encouragement, because, you know, for Ray J in this situation with these tapes, it's easy to feel like you're going up against the whole world, because the reality is you almost are, because Kim K and her family are some of the most popular people on the face of this planet. And people will automatically choose their side without even hearing Ray J out. Whereas, in my opinion, you don't even need to hear Ray J out. You could just look at the evidence. We saw the contracts. We saw the messages. The proof is in the pudding. But people will deny it. People won't even look at it because they just want to worship the Kardashians. But at the end of the day, you know, I am not anti-Kardashian. I know it's become a popular thing to hate on the Kardashians. I don't hate on the Kardashians. I don't care. You know, more power to them. Become as successful and as popular as you possibly can. I don't care. But at the same time, I don't want to see other people's lives destroyed in the process. And make no mistake about it, that is what is happening with Ray J. So I reached out to him and I let him know that, like, I know it seems like you're going up against insurmountable odds, but you have support out here. You have people who love you. You have people who care. None of us want to see anything happen to Ray J. I know I don't want to see anything happen to him, and I hope you don't either. And I also let him know, like, you got kids to live for. There are things to live for. So I basically, just reached out to him, letting him know that he isn't alone in this situation, even though it can seem like you are, especially when you're going up against someone who has a much bigger platform than you. But yeah, all in all, I hope that people take this seriously. When people threaten things like that, when people say things like that, I always take it seriously. Even if you know this person is known for doing things for attention, even if you think in your mind, this person would never do that, you should always take it seriously. And I am taking this seriously, which is why I'm making this video. Because I'm not saying this video will help anything, but at the very least, if this video can go out there and just show that he has support. While there's millions of videos out there trashing him and defending the Kardashians, if there's just one little video that maybe even gets 1,000 views on YouTube, just showing support, then hey, I'll be that person. Because I don't think Ray J is a bad person. I don't think Ray J did anything wrong. He made a dumb decision when he was younger, and he made this tape with Kim K, and they both agreed to put this tape out. And he didn't know what would happen afterwards. And apparently, it hasn't worked out for him the way it's worked out for Kim. But at the end of the day, I just hope that Ray J is okay. I hope that at the very least, this can open up the conversation to be had for other people. Because there's plenty of people out there dealing with things. And they get written off all the time. Just write people off. And I don't think we should write people off when they're dealing with something like this. But luckily, from what I've been told, Ray J is no longer by himself or anything like that. He is around the comfort of friends and family who care about him. And that is the best thing right now in this time. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. And I'll talk to you all on the next video.